Jonah didn't get eaten by a big fish. He was a prophet that failed to predict the future. That's because the Bible doesn't predict the future, and thinking that it does is a fundamental misunderstanding of prophecy in the Bible. Hi, I'm Jeremy. I'm a deep skeptic, also a pastor. So biblical scholars agree that Jonah is not a story that you need to be taken literally. It's a story that is an allegory. It's got a lot of metaphor in it. It's really meant to tell a different, bigger point. But in it, Jonah, the prophet, goes to Nineveh and prophesies their destruction. There's just one problem. There's only one problem. The destruction doesn't come. And when you read that, you might say, oh, wow, well, Jonah actually failed as a prophet. But that's just a fundamental misunderstanding of what the role of a prophet was. The role of a prophet in the Bible is to speak on behalf of God. And oftentimes they're speaking of destruction or judgment, that the people have gotten off track, and God is going to, there are going to be consequences for that if they don't sort of get their lives right and get back with God and get everything back on track. But when the people get their lives back on track, the destruction doesn't come. And that's because the role of the prophet was to speak on behalf of God and call people back to faithfulness. It was a dangerous role because a lot of times they were speaking out against governments. They were speaking out against those people in power and out against injustice and just awful wrong things. Like, for example, when a people that their story is about being freed from slavery ends up using slaves to help build their temple. But what about the book of Revelation? Doesn't it talk about a mark of the beast, and that's going to be some way that people purchase things and all that kind of stuff? No. The book of Revelation is a type of literature in the Bible known as apocalyptic literature. And it uses all kinds of symbols to speak out against oppression and injustice and to, again, call the people back to faithfulness. Sometimes it also uses those symbols to comfort people. Like in the book of Revelation, it's as much about comforting the people in that age that the bad people are going to get what they deserve in the end. And understanding that can be really helpful when you're reading the Bible, because when you're reading the Bible, you're not looking for it to tell you what's going to happen in 2025 or 2050. It's always talking about the present. Apocalyptic literature even is talking about the present, and not this present, the present time in which it was being written. So you don't have to look for that. You don't have to sort of disqualify those passages because stuff didn't happen. And definitely don't have to disqualify passages because some pastor told you that it was about what's going to happen in America in this time frame. It's not about that.